Guten Tag, heute werden wir.
Einige Tweets verlassen.
That's really good.
Watched Indiana Jones and Last Crusade loads.
Rock the boat, don't rock the boat, baby. Rock the boat, don't tip the boat over.
Hello and welcome to this special episode of Bantam's Banter. Today we're joined by our mate, Mark. He's our very own Richard Osman. How tall is he?
6'11".
6'11", got glasses. Right, basically, Mark's here to help us go through the tweets. So we did our BBC Radio Leeds show last night and kicked off.
It did, didn't it? Yeah.
We got loads of tweets, loads of messages, and we felt pretty bad that we couldn't get through them all. I think we did about 15 and there were loads. So
we don't get enough time, do we? It literally gets 40 minutes.
it's mostly taken up by travel.
Yeah, traffic and travel.
Mark, what is the question?
So the question was asked last night for the Bradford City special was number one, how are you feeling now about Stuart McCall's dismissal? And number two, who do you want in charge next?
Because we don't agree on this, do we? Well, we already know we don't agree.
Well, no, I think Stuart should have been given more time. I think that a legend should... I know it's for the wrong reasons, really. And in my head, I'm thinking, actually, Don, what you're saying is wrong. But no, I think we've been doing really well. We'd had a really good 18 months. And this is his first real blip, and like 6 games in a row, losing 6 games in a row. Any other manager, yeah, you sack him.
Yeah.
But it's Stuart McCall. I just feel like he deserved a little bit more.
But
respect.
how much more time? This is my worry. I think he should have gone, but maybe give him one more home game at Valley Parade. But then I got thinking, well, what was the point? Because if he'd have lost to Bury, obviously we're going to go. But what if he'd have beat Bury, which is likely, again with our team? Then he'd have just been prolonged, wouldn't it? Oh well, we can't sack him after a win. Do you know what I mean? So that's my theory. But I just think it was time. Do you know what I mean?
What is that tea?
It's tea.
It's horrible.
I give you Earl Grey.
Is it from Pantry?
No, Footman's.
I think it's Lancashire tea.
So when would you have sacked him? So you're not sacking him now. So when do you sack him? Or do you never sack him? Do you finish him at table and say, right, go again next year?
That's difficult because you could say he needs to stay until May. He deserves that. You know, it's too late now. January's done. You didn't really back him in the January transfer window. There were no major changes. So give him till May. But what if it totally went off the rails?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So it's difficult.
What if we lost to Bury, lost to number 4 at Trot, we find ourselves mid-table, struggling to get back into the playoffs? Whereas now it gives a manager a chance to say, right, well, we're not in the playoffs now. Let's just sustain this level of sort of standard of football. What's the question?
Let's stick with
forgot
that.
it already.
Who do you want next?
All right, okay.
Simon Grayson.
Yeah. Again, I'm not.
Is he an unrealistic target? I don't think so. It just depends how much we want to pay and how much involvement Eddie wants. Because the fact of the matter is, we don't actually know what Eddie does. It's only whispers, isn't it? And sure, there's no smoke without fire, so maybe.
But like, so yeah, he's still he's drip feeding us information into now, is Eddie, in the form of saying, yeah, I do get involved if there's a penalty decision, and I think someone should take the penalty takers, whatever, I don't know. Which is showing to us what we already kind of knew, isn't it? We did know that he got involved, not just us personally, a lot of fans did, and like, so we need a manager who's going to accept that. I honestly don't think Simon
Well, no,
Grayson
because Eddie maybe thinks, well, I've made the mistake.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm not going to get involved
I was
again.
out of order, yeah.
Simon Grayson, it's over to you. I mean, the right thing to do, bring Simon Grayson in and say, right, you've had 3 teams promoted out of this league.
Yeah.
Over to you.
Just do what you've done
You
before,
know what you're
yeah.
doing, yeah. But it's another thing that you hear about is this structure, the wage structure. Like, they want to pay players a minimal amount of money, but then you earn it all in bonuses, which is the German way of doing things, and maybe it's a good thing, maybe it works in Germany. But when all 71 other clubs aren't paying that way, how are you supposed to compete?
You can't compete, can you? Because they'll say, well, I'm going to go to Rochdale because they're going to give me £3 a week rather than £1,000 with the potential to earn more. You never know, more clubs might start adopting it, and if it were 50-50, and 50% of clubs have bonus
No
structures,
clubs are going to adopt it. What they're going to do is go, right, everyone, what we should do is, all those contracts you've given everyone, let's cut them in half.
No, but slowly adopt it. Norwich are doing something similar at the moment.
It'd be impossible to catch up with people, though, you just fall so far behind because you won't be able to sign anyone. I mean, the only people that would do it are fans.
Yeah.
Like, we'd do it. If anyone said to us, I'll give you 200 quid a week, but at the end of the season, 40 grand.
I wonder what terms Charlie White came on then. Do you know what I mean? Did he come on a big salary and big bonuses, or did he manage to? Did his agent negotiate? Look, if you're Charlie White, he wants a solid wage, small bonuses, and also the players are the fringe players. Do you know what I mean? Who are relying on bonuses just for playing and aren't playing. They must be like, that's a bit annoying. It's like going to work, innit, and being like, this is your basic salary. I know a lot of banks do it. A lot of banks pay 12 grand a year, which is nothing, and then it's all bonuses on if they hit targets. So
it's not the way you can
No,
live.
but in football, when you've got 100 years of historic,
But imagine,
English football, the way it's
imagine
done.
for instance, you're Colin Doyle. You've got a few months left on your contract. You want to know what's going on next season.
Yeah.
You want to know, am I going to have a contract? I've got a family up
family,
here.
yeah.
We're settled in. The kids are in school. Am I going to need to move? Like Billy Clark must have had the same scenario when they got rid of. He had his family up here.
You need to know, because the chances of signing for a northern club within Yorkshire or the North East are pretty slim, aren't they? So he's got to know. He's got to know in advance. And I suppose again, they're just umming and ahhing. They're waiting for options to open, aren't they? Do we keep Colin Doyle, which I think we should, because he's a good goalkeeper. Anyway, so I take your
better than
saying
the others we've
Grayson.
got anyway.
Yeah.
Grayson for me.
And
that's what we were talking about.
I'd go unknown German.
Why?
Just because
What's that based on?
Based on the fact that it's going to be a bit different, and you never know, it might just propel us further than you think. Rather than Grayson, who's got pedigree of getting out of League One, but he's got no pedigree in Championship, has it really?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
What is it?
I don't know, I'm so sorry, mate.
Yeah.
Unknown German to me, or Hans Wolf, which is probably unlikely, someone who can come and take a different approach with the club and the team.
It depends what they
And
can offer.
It might just be needed for
to
us.
Hans Wolf, because League One standard is decent. It's a decent standard football. You can still sign decent players, and the possibility of us getting promoted is pretty high. Like if you get the right combination of players and the right tactics on the pitch, we've got a good enough team to get promoted. So could someone like Hans Wolf...
But also,
I'm not going to pretend I know about the guy. I looked him up on Wikipedia because I saw him on the list of odds.
Like everybody did.
Yeah.
But he might also be pulled by the German owners in a way like, oh, you know what, I'll take a bit of a pay cut because there's two German owners that are going to potentially get on really well with, do you know what I mean?
Or do they just get on board with what they paid for? They bought an English club within a within an English structure that is well used. It's been hundreds of years. It's been the same.
Yeah. Just get on with it. Yeah. It's like obviously trying to go over to a different country and trying to do it your way in a culture which, in someone else's culture it's incredibly different.
Well, what would you do? What would you do if you're a player who's got 6 months left on your contract and Eddie said to you, you've only got 6 months left and you're on £1,000 a week, okay?
Right.
Yeah, you're happy with that for the rest of your 6 months?
Are you Eddie now?
Yeah.
Right.
But at the end of the season, I promise you,
Yeah.
you'll get a bigger contract for a year next. You'll get another year.
Can I have that promise in writing?
No, just a promise. It's verbal.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Should we go for a beer?
Fine.
Yeah, I'm easily persuaded though, but you're right. You can't,
What, you think I was actually offering you a deal?
No. What I'm saying is, if that is what happens, and they're saying, look, you probably will sign a contract without any writing, then the players need to start looking elsewhere, don't they?
Right.
Yeah,
If you're wondering, firstly, why Tom's dressed like a bin man, it's because it's freezing in his office. They're rock hard, aren't they?
I need to wash my hands.
It's because it's cold.
They're rock hard.
Right, Mark.
Yes.
What are the people on Twitter saying to that?
So, quite a mixed opinion. Some of the points you've covered off. First of all, Jonathan Forrest. Sad to see Stuart leave. Lucky enough to see him play for the club under 2 spells and forever be a legend. But 6 losses on the trot, new ownership, the undoing of him. He deserved more time, but I guess another manager would have gone as well without Stuart's history. He would like to see Simon Grayson. Good track record of getting clubs up. Lessons learned from the 2 windows. While the German model has its merits.
Is this all one tweet?
2 tweets.
But it's the same guy?
Yeah. Sorry.
I just want to show if you knew how Twitter worked.
Just reading it all in one go. But yeah, I think the new manager needs more time, more control over the players. Whether that's going to be a bit of a conflict with the chairman's model.
Who's that?
I suspect that's Jonathan Forrest.
Oh, same guy. Bloody hell.
I know.
Cheers, Jonathan, for your tweet.
But he said something about being a club legend there. Do you think that shadows... it's not shadows. Do you think that hampers people's views?
Yeah, it hampers my view, absolutely.
But me as well.
Is that not what should happen? If you've given time and effort to a club and you've given a lot of your life to the club, don't you deserve a bit of...
Yeah, you do.
You deserve a bit of leeway, I think.
But,
But I guess
you could argue you got 18 months. That's quite a lot of
We
leeway.
did pretty well last year.
Well, he didn't get...
Playoff final opportunity missed, undeniably.
Could have sacked him after that. In the way the modern era is.
Can you imagine if they'd sacked him after getting us to a playoff final? He walked on the pitch crying and looking so proud.
No, that's probably why they did.
God, we'd have smashed the place up.
Right, any more?
Yeah, Labib Aslam. Sad for Stuart, but only because of the legendary status. Any other manager would have been understandable, but other clubs who chop and change managers are rarely successful. No mention of who he'd like, but not him, saw Bellamy. Somebody who can coach and develop talent and get the best from experienced pros.
Thing is with Bellamy, it's been linked with Oxford job now. But I don't. When did Bellamy become a manager? He's obviously got his badges.
When did anyone become a manager? When did Kevin Keegan become a manager? This is what happens. These footballers fall into management. That's what it's just.
Bellamy's fallen
because of the age we're at now. We're like, hey, hang on a minute. I were only sticking Bellamy in my sticker album last week. Now he's going to be a manager.
But Muggle's falling apart. But normally, players like Bellamy, he want like a big centre half. He want this big presence in the pitch, like Roy Keane. Do you know what I mean? Patrick Vieira. These are the sort of players you think who can control a team on the pitch, can control it off the pitch as well. Bellamy was just a fast winger who scored quite a few goals, and if anything, he had a bit of a mouth on him.
Yeah, did he?
Do you know what I mean?
He hit John Anarisa with a golf club.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. And you think, well, what sort of manager is he going to be? Is he going to fly off the lid, or is he going to be able to make rational decisions?
Often managers like that can get results quickly. They have an instant impact.
I suppose we don't know because it might be the same.
Do I think we need a manager with so little experience? Absolutely not. No, we need someone who can have an immediate impact. I genuinely think the only realistic person that is on that list is Simon Grayson.
Phil Brown.
Get out. Anything else, Mark? Is there any opinion there? Is there anyone being really opinionated and arsey?
That we can argue with?
Other than you two, no. But no, John Dixon, he's happy. He lost the players 3 or 4 games back. Not the number of defeats for him, but it's the manner of the defeats. We're getting rolled over far too easily and playing that poorly. Oldham was embarrassing.
So when you said no, you actually meant, yeah, there is someone being opinionated.
All right. But manager-wise for him, new name, well, not a new name, but first one mentioned, Rosler.
Rosler. We've not spoken about Rosler. But, what do you think to Rosler?
It's the obvious choice. I mean, we've seen him around Valley Parade when they were looking for the takeover. He's German, but as I say, I think he's just signed a new contract with Fleetwood, hasn't he? So,
buyout clause, though. This always happens when big teams lose managers. The clubs that have got a decent manager is like, right, give him a new contract, put a £400,000 buyout clause in.
Yeah, it's.
I think.
I'd take Rosler.
I wasn't happy with Rosler when McCall was our manager. Like, I wasn't happy at the thought of him being our manager. But now we need a manager.
We need a manager.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll take anybody. No,
And,
I think it's a good shout.
I think he seems to get the best out of players at this level.
Yeah.
I think he's done really well. I think he's done exceptionally well with Fleetwood.
Oh, yeah.
He's German, which means he's obviously on the list.
Yeah.
I think if you've got the rumours to believe about the friction between management and the style of how the club is being run, Rosler would probably be a happy medium. He's someone who knows the leagues, knows what's needed, but also can manage the chairman as well. And the relationship there with him being a fellow countryman, that might just help a little bit.
I think that's
our show.
That's a really good point, isn't it? Because essentially, what's most important is here going forward is the relationship between the manager and the chairman, innit? Forget about the James.
But is it? We don't know that, do we? That's just made up.
No, I'm saying from here on in. I'm not saying what's happened.
But do we know that was the case?
No, we don't. I'm not saying that.
I mean,
I'm saying
was.
from now on in,
definitely was.
The relationship's got to be key. That's got to be priority. And Rosler, it'd be perfect, like Mark says. He can be like, well, growing up in Germany, I didn't expect to be in England, but I am now, and I've done all right with Fleetwood, haven't I? And then Eddie can be like, that's a good point, Uwe. Good point.
Who would you have as manager?
I think someone unknown just to manage expectations a little bit. If you go for your Grayson, everyone's going to be expecting, instant success, and then the fans are going to start turning when it doesn't happen. Likewise with the chairman as well. If they're hiring someone just because everyone thinks they're going to get them promoted in the first season, you're going to have another 18 months down the line, and we're going to be in the same position again.
But I just feel like you need someone with a bit of proven ability at this stage of the season, because it's risky. It is risky.
At this stage of the season, but it's a gamble that then if it doesn't pay off, you're then stuck with them for next season.
Exactly, whereas an unknown will shut up a lot of City fans. Well, because they'll be like, and I think City fans need that, they need to be shut up.
Unless an unknown comes in and then he's shite and we get relegated.
Yeah, then fair enough. He's crap.
No, not fair enough. I don't want to prove a point by getting relegated.
What if Grayson comes in and he's shite? It's even worse, isn't it? Than having an unknown come in and he's shite.
I just think that in this sort of situation, you need to go for experience. Because there's less risk involved. It could still go wrong. It could always still go wrong. You could bring in Alex Ferguson and it might not pay off.
Yeah, true.
But I just think that experience now, we need to try and keep hold of the playoff places. We're only just in sixth by the skin of our teeth. And it's lucky, but we're still there. So we now need to do something to solidify that position. And I think it needs to be a man with experience. Because he can't bring in any players. He's got to be tactically able.
Yeah.
And he's got to be given the time to do it. He's got to be given the ability to do it. You can't have Eddie saying, right, you're playing 4-5-6, 6 or whatever. And
4-5-6.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, but
The guy
you
knows
can imagine,
football.
can't you? Edding, that's too many players. Okay, 4, 5, 8. Still too many.
It's the German way.
We'll play the more players and we'll win the game.
I'm not sure how comfortable I am with the German accent.
Sorry, okay. What was that?
Right,
Can I answer a question? What do the players want? What sort of manager do the players want? They'll want, I imagine, they want someone who's going to create that boundary, that communication between the manager and the chairman, aren't they?
Do you think that that McCall had lost the changing room, or do you think there was an outside factor, the reason they weren't playing?
I think it was an outside factor.
So you don't think McCall lost the changing room?
No, and the reason I think that is because the aftermath of McCall left, all the players tweeting stuff, not all the players, some of the players tweeting stuff, putting pictures up, we love him, he's going to be missed, can't believe it. And if he'd lost the changing room, they wouldn't be doing that, would they? So I think there's something else is going on, I don't know what, which is affecting the way they perform on the pitch. Whether it's just we're losing games and they can't get the morale up, they're struggling to get the morale up, or whether it's something else.
Well, what type of manager do you think they need to...
Yeah, well, does
it need to be someone who's going to go in there and give him a right good bollocking?
Yeah. I think it needs to be a complete change to
I reckon Grayson's not shy of bollockings.
No, I reckon McCall dished out a fair few bollockings, but McCall had this friendship relationship, didn't he? He had this, he'll go for a beer with him, which was good at the time, it worked for us at the time. I think now it'd be like, right lads, if you don't get your act together, we're going to be out of these players.
I mean, what sort of shitty world do we live in where being mates with players is the wrong thing to do?
No, in the wrong thing, is it? It's different, isn't it? It's just a different approach.
What, do you think they don't respect
style?
him?
No, I think they completely did respect him because he was like friendly with them. But
look at
it's a
the
different style, isn't it?
Look at the social media post from Billy Clark.
Oh, yeah.
And from Charlie White, who tweeted the same thing, saying one of the best or whatever.
And that's what I mean, that's ultimate respect, because he was so good with them. You were like a dad, a father figure, wasn't he? You could go to him.
Wish you were my dad.
I
love my dad, by the way.
Sean crying into his cup of tea while watching it. Yeah, so he was approachable, and for that reason they could respect him. Let's go for a beer, let's go for a meal, what's the problem, talk to me. But then maybe that information wasn't getting relayed to the chairman then.
Yeah. Mark,
whatever way.
who do you think should be manager? Who do you think the players would want as a manager? What type of manager?
They're going to want someone that's probably going to shield them from the politics, someone that's going to get the best out of them and encourage them. Someone like Stuart McCall.
Yeah, but I think he did too much shielding, did McCall, if I'm being honest.
I think he's always been sort of come across as one of the lads.
Yeah.
I just can't see how this is a bad thing. Like, Stuart Allardyce's guy was like, oh yeah, we didn't need him.
I don't think it's a bad thing. We're not saying
like,
that.
he used to take the heat, didn't he, in interviews to say, look,
of course he did, yeah. Of course he did.
What a man.
What I'm saying is, what if one of those players had a massive a grievance, it's in a what if, with the chairman, okay, and he goes to Stuart McCall and says, you know what?
I'm not sure a grievance is a word, mate.
A grievance, of course it's a word.
It's just grievance.
It's grievance, it's not a grievance.
Are you aggrieved?
Yeah.
Can you be aggrieved?
Sorry, I've kicked you out of your train of thought there. I know how difficult it is for you.
I need to get it back. I'll just get back on train. And say they have an issue with the chairman, and they go up to Stuart and say, you know what, Stuart, I'm not happy about this. I'm not happy about that. Yeah. I'm not happy about my contract. I'm not happy about the length of it. I'm not happy with the amount. I'm not whatever. And McCall's like, all right, yeah, okay. Well, we'll see what we can do. And then McCall doesn't say anything. Do you know what I mean? And that communication doesn't get transferred. Or if the chairman's not approachable because McCall's too approachable, it's like opposite ends. I think you need somebody who you can trust to represent you, but also have that bit of friendship as well. I don't know, it's just, you could argue, I'm not saying McCall's not professional, someone like Parkinson.
Yeah. I mean, Mark mentioned there Stuart McCall's the perfect candidate for the role he's been sacked from. And we've had a lot of tweets like that. There are loads of tweets from people saying, can't we just say it's all forgiven and bring Stuart back? But that's not going to happen. So stop sending those tweets. Let's think about moving forward. We've got to support the team. What's the best way we can do that? I know that at Oldham, the fans were unbelievable, did what they could. There were some unbelievable chances to start that game, and we were let down massively. I think when the pitch isn't perfect, our football is massively affected.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the same for every team, I know, but the way Bradford have been playing, nice passing play, we've seen some really attractive football since Stuart came in. Poor pitches don't help. Valley Parade, shithole.
Has anyone put any other tweets out about anything other than McCall?
Yeah, Keith Wellman suggesting Edin Rajic as player manager.
Better move on. Eddie might be watching.
He might do a job. Set her out.
Yeah.
Somebody else suggested, no name to it, but Michael Caine escaped to victory. Could get Pele, Sylvester Stallone, the other lads back together.
Yeah.
Marnheim, yeah, what a film as well, by the way.
Bobby Moore played in that. That was a great film. Watch that.
So yeah, just having a look through some of the other tweets you've got coming through. Tagged in quite a few little bits, but yeah, Grayson seems to be coming up time and time again. So
Grayson.
It doesn't seem to be any escaping from that one.
Kieran Hodds.
Peter Taylor's mentioned up, so I'm trying to delete that from the
Peter
internet.
Taylor? Good God.
Things with Peter Taylor, he was a top manager that didn't have a plan, did he?
He didn't have a clue.
No, he didn't have a
I
clue.
don't, it's like he stumbled his way through football. So.
And I think the next manager needs to be a good tactician, I think. And I think you'll get that in a German manager. I think someone who's good with tactics, who knows how to change a game tactically, be it at half-time, halfway through, is willing to alter formations, is willing to try something a bit different or inject a style which is unique.
I'd love to have a crack at it. Tell you what,
You're a tactician.
your champ manager videos
Man.
that you can watch, they're linked at the end of this one, show that Tom has got what's needed.
Yeah.
All Tom needs is Tom Madeira. Who else?
Kim Kallstrom.
Kim Kallstrom. Who else?
There's loads, I just signed all cheap players.
Not cheap players. Yeah.
It's not really proper management, really, is it?
No.
But sometimes you do wonder whether Eddie sees this a bit like a playing football manager. Do you know what I mean? And it's going to be controversial saying that.
Like it's like a...
Do you know?
I mean, it's someone else's money he's using.
It is.
What if Stefan doesn't realise what's going on? Like Stefan.
We're
What if we rang
top of the
him?
league, honest. Yeah.
We're going up, definitely, yeah. That's just how the English structure works, yeah. Top 10,
But you've got to
automatic.
remember, Eddie was a player. Even though he was suffered with injuries and he didn't go on to make it professionally, he did play football at a certain level. So, but what I'm saying, so he can't resist. He loves the sport. He's gonna want to have a dabble. He's gonna want to sit behind the desk and think, well, what can we do to change the team, to change the form? He can't help it. Do you know what I mean? And I say it won't surprise me, but imagine if like amazing happened, like that Eddie was like, I will manage the team.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
What
What if Greg Abbott's in the dugout? Greg Abbott.
I don't think it'll happen.
And we've spoken to, well, we've spoken to Stuart about Greg before, but Greg Abbott's an unbelievable guy. Like he does loads of work. He works really hard at the club, and it doesn't deserve this stick. But what if he's in the dugout on Sunday? Everyone's gonna be like, "You bastard!"
Well, he will. He will be in the dugout on Saturday, won't he?
No, Kenny Black.
I know, but do you not think he's
He
gonna?
can't do it.
Do you not think he'll ask for Greg?
Greg, if you're watching, I know you probably mean well, but don't do it. Don't do it, mate, because it'll just reflect so badly.
You're a bad PR.
You're a good guy.
You're a PR guru, aren't you? What do you think you are? How do you think the club have handled all this? In terms of PR, in terms of like social media, in terms of interviews?
I think they've done the right thing just to stay off it. Because you give an answer and people are like, he used six syllables there, that must mean that we're going for the sixth guy on the list and stuff like that. There's all the conspiracy theories and stuff like that.
Do you know,
the best thing to do is say, bring out an official statement, Stuart McCall is sacked, there'll be more on it soon, and then Eddie brought his statement out. That's all you need to do.
Do you not think Eddie should have done a bit more of an extensive interview with somebody?
Yeah, absolutely. Now he should.
Now he should.
The reasons we did it, tell us, because the silence actually gets people talking, gets people speculating. What should have happened is Eddie should be sitting right here, and we interviewed him. In Brighouse, in this warehouse that we're in. We're trying to make it look fancy with these retro shirts.
Can I have my spin on it?
Oh, please do.
I think the fact that James Mason joined Twitter like a few weeks before this happened.
Terrible timing.
Probably terrible timing. Obviously,
imagine being James Mason, you're in the middle. You're a fan, you've got a picture of Stuart McCall on your desk from when you were a little boy.
Yeah.
And
He didn't know this was going to happen, did it? And I bet he's thinking, oh God. But he didn't tweet until about 3 days afterwards, which I thought was interesting.
I'd be interested to know.
I'd have put a tweet out sooner.
I'd be interested to know
From a
whether
fan's point of view, I'd have put a tweet out sooner saying...
Absolutely good.
Absolutely good, because Eddie can't do it about
just
that.
when you
That's
can,
his
you just
personal
got to stay
opinion.
quiet.
Yeah, I know. I know he's representing the club, I know that. I know it's hard, but I don't know.
Matt, what do you think? The club handled it very well.
No, not at all. I think the one thing you alienate the fans by not saying anything, and by the time you do come out and say something as they did, it just sounds a bit kind of robotic, really, as though it's kind of like, oh, this is just what we're meant to do, so this is what we do.
Well, do you think it's like the dreaded vote of confidence Stuart got, that they did it because they felt pressured into doing it?
Yeah.
And do you think that's the only reason Eddie spoke yesterday?
Yeah, but I think the sort of the German way, if you like, or the German way, is to be very sort of ruthless, if you like, and that's a business sense as much as anything.
Okay, that's a very interesting point you make. Read the statement out, Matt.
Bradford City can confirm that the club has terminated the contract of manager Stuart McCall. The decision has not been taken lightly, and this is a sad day for everyone involved. We'd like to place on record our sincere thanks to Stuart, who joined the club at a difficult time and restored the fans' belief when the odds were much against us. Unfortunately, we have now suffered 6 straight defeats, and the last 2 fixtures in particular have not brought about the positive change in performances or results we'd hoped for. We believe that our current squad is capable of performing to a much higher standard than we have been seen recently. We must also accept responsibility for the recent poor run of form, including our players who now have the opportunity to put it right. As such, we believe that a change is in the best interest of the club at this time in order to give us the best chance of finishing the season strongly. Finally, everyone at Bradford City would like to thank Stuart McCall for giving us all some wonderful memories. In 2 spells as a player and 2 as a manager, he's always given his absolute commitment to our club. Stuart is a City legend and always will be. He will, of course, always be welcome back at Valley Parade.
That is extremely well written by Edin. Do you know what? It's fair enough, isn't it? The things said in there are exactly what you want to hear.
Yeah, they are, but don't you think it sounds like a template? Don't you think it sounds like and no, the last bit's what you want to hear. That he was a legend. That was all. That was nice. But the fact that they've also admitted blame. It's our fault as well that the defeats on the pitch. It's time for a change. And I know legally they've got to sell this. Obviously, haven't they? They can't not really state them. They've got to. They're invited to do it. Invited to it. Whatever. They're obliged to do it. So I suppose it is difficult to get a personality across. But what would you do set out differently?
No, I think they've said what fans want to hear. But that's exactly what it is. It's what the fans want to hear.
Would you said we'll something about a replacement?
I think what else can you do? What else can you do? You've sacked the manager. They've said that's all you can say.
No, but but it's not as black and white as that, though, is it? You're making it sound like it's black and white. There's a lot more going on, isn't there? The absolute backlash against the directors. There's backlash against the club generally. There's people saying they're going to throw the season ticket away, which is ludicrous.
Do you know what? I miss just being naive about football.
Yeah, I know. Twitter don't help. Twitter and Facebook. And this does not help any of it.
You know, what the fuck are we doing now?
I know what we're doing with our life. You would only realise this on Saturday. You get on Saturday, then you'd hear about the backlash. Get rid of the directors, I'm boycotting, chanting Stuart on 4 minutes. And it ain't as black and white as you make it out. So that's why I think Edin or someone needs to come out and say, right, all right, yeah, it was
a shit situation.
It's a shit situation. We had to do it. Not everyone's going to agree with it. In fact, most of you don't agree with it on social media. But we're going to cope with it best we can and be a bit more personal, be a bit more open about it. I'm not saying they've done it wrong. I'm just saying you could have done it differently.
Anything else on Twitter, Matt?
Seems to be a lot of people against Phil Brown. I think, as I say,
that's the right thing to be.
I think he's done nothing really. He's had a couple of good runs with Hull and mid-table of League One, which we need more than that. We should be aspiring to more than that. I think, from my point of view, I think you've almost got to sort of take a backward step and not stop caring, but just let the chairman do what they're going to do and support them and let them have their own way with their own man and their own style and see what difference it makes. There's obviously a bit of friction between the sort of the 2 styles of leadership, and I think for my own sanity, you've just got to say, right, get on with it, we'll support the team, and that's what we're there for.
And it could be worse. We could be Newcastle fans. Look at Newcastle fans, Mike Ashley. We could be Leeds fans with Chilino. It could be a lot worse than it, isn't it? It really could.
The thing is, do you know what's annoying about all this? We used to laugh at them. We used to laugh at Leeds.
Yeah, but we're nothing like Leeds. We are nothing like Leeds or Newcastle.
Do you know what? We win at the weekend. We get a new manager in, he turns things around. McCall's forgotten about. It's just the way football is.
Yeah, I don't think McCall will be forgotten about if we win at weekend.
I don't mean he'll be totally forgotten about as a legend.
No.
But I think the fact that he's been sacked will be forgotten about. It's like, well, right, maybe it's right. I mean, Stuart said himself in the interview, didn't he, with Radio Leeds, that should I have been sacked after 6? Yeah, probably, but he feels like he deserved more time. And
he admitted it, which was good. I've got one final thought. We lost it. When do we get a manager then? At what point do we get a new manager?
ASAP. It's obviously not when the weekend, is it?
No, exactly. So when do you cut off? When do you cut off?
I don't know. Well, what's so stupid? I don't do it today. Get someone in now. let him watch the game on Saturday, and then he can take over. Okay, you've just got to get Saturday out of the way. The club have said Kenny Black and the team are going to be taking charge. Get Saturday done. Then next week you've got to have someone in. You can't let it linger. Edin, you cannot let it linger. Get somebody in. Let's battle Barnsley for Grayson is the first thing. And if it's not Grayson, I plead with you. Do not let it be Phil Brown. That man is I'm sure he's a nice guy, but he's not fit to be our manager.
Phil is Brown. So a Southend fan tweeted saying, "Do not." Take him."
Southend fan said, "Don't take him." Look at how he handled Southend. He signed crocked players who are useless. Anyway.
Well, I've got one last tweet to read out.
God.
That I thought Mark might read.
That's Mark's job.
The board, this is from Duncan Wynn. The board needs to remember this is our Bradford City, not theirs. They are privileged to be custodians of the club, but fail to treat with respect. Only true Bradford City fans understand. They're as culpable as anyone for the poor January. Sacking McCall is cowardly on their part. I think it got loads of likes of this tweet. It's like, it was so. I mean, he said it at the time. As soon as McCall, this is Duncan's gut reaction to it. It was 3 days ago, and I think everyone reacting like that. Since then, we've had time to think. It's put there. They're as culpable as anyone for the poor January, and they actually admitted it in that statement, didn't they?
Yeah.
So going forward, if that's how they're going to take the approach, that they're going to be to blame for a lot of results or anything like that, then they should expect backlash. They should expect a bit.
I'm sure they expected the backlash.
Anyway.
Did they expect it to be as bad as it is? Can't imagine they did.
No, definitely.
Anyway, before we go, Mark, chuck me that ball.
All right, Sam.
Mate. Do you want to win this? This is an official EFL Mitre football. It's like 180 quid or something.
Yeah.
Lovely football. Do you want to win it? Then all you've got to do is subscribe to our channel, comment below what are your thoughts on the Stuart McCall and the Bradford City managerial situation. Comment below, subscribe to the videos, and you could win this fantastic football. You'll need a pump, like it's not popped.
Yeah. We're going to send it flat as well. You're not going to get
you can't post a pumped up foot.
You're going to have to buy a pump.
But this was sent to us by Mitre, so thanks for that. You can win it. Cheers.